Hi. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use GitHub without experiencing the pain of having to write the terminal commands. If you have attempted to use GitHub in the past but proceeded to not use it because of how difficult it was to use it through the terminal, this video is exactly for you. If you have years of experience using GitHub and if you are already comfortable with it, this is not for you. My name is Dr. Sridhar Panat. I'm a PhD from MIT. The single reason why I'm creating this video is because I came across hundreds of people who found GitHub so non-intuitive, mainly because of the terminal commands. So today I'll be talking mainly about GitHub Desktop, which will allow you to use GitHub without having to write a single line of code. So let's get into the video. I will show you three things in the next few minutes. First is how to install something called as GitHub Desktop. GitHub Desktop is a graphical user interface for using GitHub so that you don't have to write any terminal commands for using GitHub. That is one thing. Second thing is, if you are still not convinced, what's the big deal about GitHub? Why do you really need to use GitHub? I will show you through a very simple actual example that you also can do along with me, because I will make the link to that particular piece of example public. So after watching the video, you can go through it. I will show you how GitHub can be used in the context of, for example, web development. So it will be a very simple example. Don't worry if you don't know web development. I'm not going to pain you. And thirdly, I will show you what are some of the issues that arise when people start to use GitHub for the first time and how you can easily navigate those issues and make it more comfortable for you. Of course, the extreme level of comfort will only come from your experience of using. So I'll first show you how to install GitHub Desktop. So go to Google, search GitHub Desktop. This link will show up. Open it. I'm using a MacBook, so I assume the download link will be for corresponding to Mac OS. If you are using Windows, you will find the appropriate link. Fairly simple. You click the link, download the corresponding installation file and install it. I have already installed GitHub Desktop, so I will assume that you are also finding it very comfortable to install GitHub Desktop. I don't foresee any issue here. It's fairly straightforward, just like installing any other thing. Okay, so first do install the GitHub Desktop. After you install GitHub Desktop, this is how the interface of it looked like. In MacBook, I'm pretty sure it looks the same in Ubuntu or Windows. So you don't have to write a single line of code to operate GitHub using GitHub Desktop. So you can forget about terminal. From as far as what I understand, you also don't have to install Git separately. If you are installing GitHub Desktop, it is automatically taken care of. Okay. So having installed GitHub Desktop, just follow with me with this example. So let us go to GitHub, and what I will do is I will create a new repository. So this is my GitHub. Let me just click new over here. And here I will say simple website demo. So what I'm going to do here is I create this repository called simple website demo. And this repository is where I will act as if I'm collaborating with 2 or 3 other people, but I myself will be those because I don't have anyone else in this room. So I will show you how, if 3 friends have decided to work together for building a website, and if they are using GitHub for their collaboration, how that will happen using GitHub Desktop, and what are some issues that they will run into. I will just show you that through this simple demo. So having set up the repository, it's currently empty. Like currently, if you click any of this, all of those are empty because we just created an empty repository. There is not even a single file in the repository. So just do this. Click on this part, code. And here you will see an icon called as GitHub Desktop. I hope you can see my screen. Otherwise, I'll just increase my font, zoom a little bit. So here you will see this thing called setup in desktop. This means you set it up in GitHub Desktop. So I'm just going to click this. One thing I forgot to mention is that in GitHub Desktop, you will have to, I think, log into GitHub And obviously you will have to log in into GitHub from the web for the website also to access the github.com website also. I'm assuming that I don't have to spend a few minutes in this video explaining those things, because you first create an account in GitHub by logging in. You obviously also have to log into GitHub when you have finished installing the GitHub Desktop. Assuming that those two things you found fairly easy to do, I'm moving forward. So click Setup in Desktop. Then what happens is, so I clicked the Setup in Desktop, and this screen, GitHub Desktop screen, opened, right? So now you can see that my repository name, Simple Website Demo, is showing here, and this is the URL of my GitHub profile. And here in the local path, it has automatically named the folder it's going to create. It is Simple Website Demo. So I just click Clone. So you might have heard of these operations, right? Creating repository, cloning. Did I write any terminal command? No, I simply used GitHub Desktop. I just clicked one button to clone the repository. So basically, I cloned the repository from GitHub, which is online in the cloud, to my local computer. Now, is the repository right now, full? Like, is there any file? No, it's still empty. So let us open this repository locally, meaning that this folder, which will be named as Simple Website Demo, locally, to see how it looks like. So, so click, I think it's View. Yeah, so go to repository. So here it shows Show in Finder. So Finder is the equivalent of whatever folder it is called as in Windows. So Finder is I think it's called My Computer or something like that. I forgot. I used to use Windows many years ago, but basically Finder, if you are using Windows, you will find the equivalent of Finder. That's what I was trying to say. So this is that folder, Simple Website Demo. It is currently empty, right? Now what I'll do is, let me open maybe text edit, so that I can write an HTML code. So what I'll do is, in the text editor, I'll just open an HTML code, which I had handy. So the code was looking something like this. Let me open once again, open text editor. Maybe I'll create a new document so that you don't have to, so this is an empty document. Now what I'll do is, like, I'll copy paste a very, very simple code for an HTML website. And we'll see after hosting the website, if someone else is working in the same GitHub repository, what kind of conflicts can happen, and how can people work together so that all of them are working to build the same single website, okay, without having any issues. So I have asked ChatGPT to create a very simple HTML code. I'm going to paste it in the text editor. So this is the code. It's the simplest HTML website. Its title is Simple Web Page. There are 3 lines of text. I will show you how this looks like when we host the website. Now, what I'll do is, I will format this into a plain text. Yeah, so this is formatted as a plain text. Now let me save this, and I will save this as index. This is a convention though. So index.html file is the main HTML file, which acts as the landing page of the website. So I just named it as index. So, okay. So now I saved it as a .txt file. I'll copy paste it so I saved it in my desktop. I will copy paste it into this folder, Simple Website Demo folder. What is this folder? This is the folder where my GitHub, all the repositories from my GitHub is fetched and stored. So this is my repository name, Simple Website Demo. So that itself is the local file name, right? I hope you understand until this point. So I copied my index.txt file from my desktop. So let me just rename this into index.html. I can directly rename here and then use .html. So now it has become an HTML file. Now, if I open this, you will see this as a web page on Chrome. So let me just double click. If I double click, it just opened, right? So this is the website, the simplest website, nothing, just a heading and 3 lines of text. Okay. Now, can you tell the 2 changes, or can you just imagine the 2 changes that happened in my folder right now? There are 2 changes that happened. One is, a file called index.html was created. Initially, this folder was empty. A file called index.html was created. And within that file, there is some text that is added. These are the two things. So ideally, and this change has not yet reflected in my GitHub repository. Why? Because I have been making these changes on my local computer. I have not pushed any of these changes to the GitHub cloud, right? But just have a look at what GitHub Desktop will show you now. So this is the GitHub Desktop window. And what you can see here is, you can see that a new file index.html has been created, because that's why you see this green plus symbol here. And since that file is selected, you can see what are the different lines that has been added. You can see that 1, 2, 3, up to 17 lines of code has been added into this newly added file. And you can also see what are these lines. Now, what can I do to make this change reflect in the GitHub cloud? All I need to do is a simple thing. I just need to commit these changes. So what do I do here? I just say first, here I have to write a description of what is this commit. So I just write something like first version of the website. So then commit to main, and this branch called main. So that the default branch name in GitHub is called main. You will understand very soon what exactly is a branch. A branch is nothing but, let's say I have 5 different versions of a document. You can consider it to be 5 different branches. It's a very simplistic analog, but just think like that. So now this main means this is the main document containing the index.html code. This branch is yet to be published. Why is that the case? Because this branch still does not exist in the GitHub cloud. It is still existing in my local computer. So I publish this, and when I publish this, so currently the GitHub is empty, right? Nothing is visible in this simple demo repository. It's completely empty. But since this new branch has been published, I pushed it here. If I refresh here, you will see that new branch being created. See, I just refreshed. You see this main branch. This main branch got created. And as you can obviously guess, what is present in the main branch? The index.html file. And what should be the code here? The same code we copy pasted. So click it to open. You see the same code here, right? Very good. Now let's do one thing to make things interesting. Let us host this website. So what I will do is I will go to a platform called Netlify, netlify.com. I already have been using Netlify for a while. So for hosting, there are so many options. You don't necessarily have to use Netlify, but I just use it for the sake of my past experience, and it's very easy for me. So here I'll click add new site, and click add new site, import an existing project. So Netlify has this good thing that you can directly deploy projects, meaning directly deploy websites from GitHub or other Git platforms, but we are focusing on GitHub. So click GitHub. It will ask for signing up. I have already connected GitHub to Netlify. These are all very simple steps. Okay, you just need to log in, just like how you are logging into Google from a different website. Sometimes you can log in through Google, Facebook, or other platforms into other websites, right? Same thing. Here in Netlify, you connect you connect your GitHub to Netlify. And then here you search, I think it was simple website demo or something, right? The name of the website. Yeah, simple website demo. Oh, I forgot to do one thing. I thought I did not make this repo public. It's by default public. So, okay. So now I connected the simple website demo repository to this Netlify new project. So the team name is whatever, Visuara. Branch to deploy is main. So here actually we can deploy different branches. I will come to that. I will show you when we create another branch in a moment. So branch to deploy, and then just deploy simple website demo. Now the website is being deployed, and let me just rename the website. So I think it's somewhere here in the site configuration or something, manage site name. I will just say Visuara demo website. Then I will save this. Now, if you click this deploys, you will see that the site is, why is it not being deployed? I thought it's already deployed. Let's check if the site has been deployed. Yeah, so the site has been deployed. So now this is a public URL. So if I will host this URL in the description of this video, so basically this is a public website now. Now let's see one interesting thing before going into making branches and all that. Okay. Now, how do I make change to this website? Instead of this welcome to my simple web page, I want to use GitHub Desktop to make some change to this website. How can I do that? All I need to do is the following. Go to this index.html. So first of all, there are a few things that we can do to change. I'm just showing you the way using GitHub Desktop so that you can get familiar with that idea, right? So let's open with text editor. And actually, I'll keep this line of code handy. I might need it. So, and then I will convert this into I don't want to edit it directly here because this is exactly how the website looks, right? So I will just convert index.html into plain text, then paste my code here. And then what I will do is I will change the name to web page by simple web page. Where is the welcomes? Yeah. Welcome to the web page by Visuara. I just typed this, right? So it's supposed to change this. So now if I click save, can you predict what are the two changes that GitHub Desktop will identify now? It will identify two changes. One is the HTML file does not exist anymore. Why? Because I renamed it to index.txt. See, in the simple website demo folder, which is the local folder in which my repository is hosted, the repository is in the cloud, but I have cloned it and locally this is where the folder is. And previously this was index.html. Now it became index.txt, which means GitHub Desktop will recognize that I have deleted the index.html folder and I have added the file and I have added the index.txt file. So just go to GitHub Desktop and that's what you see. So you can see that index.html, there is a red minus sign here, which means that file has been removed and index.txt with all of these lines of code has been added. But this is not what we wanted. What will happen if I push this into the change? So let's say I just type the change as change to commit to main. I push to origin. Can you predict what will happen now to the website? The website will crash because how can .txt file be the HTML file of a website? You need HTML file for hosting website. Now what will happen is, since I have connected my Netlify with GitHub directly, whatever changes I have pushed into the GitHub cloud will directly reflect in this website. So if we go to this website and if we refresh, see, page not found. This happened because I pushed the txt file. This is accidentally how, if three of your friends are trying to work on a website, and let's say you have a public website, which is your product or which is your service, this is how you can mess up your website. This is a classic example. There are other examples which I will show you in a moment. So what should we do here? Come here, instead of index.txt, rename this as index.html. So I rename this as index.html. Now GitHub Desktop will immediately recognize the change, which is I removed the txt file, which is why you see this negative sign. I added the HTML file. Now I can push this change as change 3. I'm just writing some random thing. Commit to main and push the change. So commit to main means the changes are still in your local computer. It's just that you have accepted that change, but it is yet to be sent to the GitHub cloud. But only when you click push here, you are sending it to the cloud. Did you notice that I have not used a single git command or a single terminal command throughout this process? You don't have to use that. You can use GitHub Desktop. I highly encourage you to do that. Now let us go back to the website, refresh this. It might take a few seconds. See, it has changed. See, welcome to the web page by Visuara. So the change has happened. Okay. So you saw this much. You saw how to clone the repository. You saw how to publish the first main branch, and you saw how to push the changes to the branch. And you also saw one bonus thing, how to connect this. If it's a website, how to connect it into Netlify, and how real-time changes can be applied to the website. Okay. Now let's do one more thing. Let's say I am inviting one of my friends to collaborate with me on this website. And I tell my friend, hey, look, you should not work on the main branch because it's a very important branch. So don't mess it up. I want you to work on a new branch. Now, what will the friend do? Friend will do the same thing. He or she will go to this GitHub repository and will clone it into their local computer. And then I have asked them to create a new branch, right? So to create a new branch, it's very simple. You can just click this instead of current branch main, click new branch and just name it. So I'm going to name it as friend1. Okay, then I create a branch. So this friend1 is the branch that exists only in the local computer of this friend1. It does not exist in the cloud, which is why you see this publish branch option. So you publish the branch, you click this to publish the branch, which means after doing that, if you go back to GitHub and if you refresh, you will see one more branch. I will show you that. So here, if you click, I refreshed, and here, if you click, you will see one more branch called friend1. This is exactly how you create branches. Now, how will this branch look like? Is this branch empty or has this got any content? Let's see. So now I go back to GitHub Desktop, and here the current branch is friend1, right? So this fetch origin is something where if someone else has made changes to the GitHub and pushed those changes to the cloud, you can fetch those changes from the cloud to your local computer. That is why you need this fetch origin button. But I don't have to use it because it's just been fetched. Now I'll do once again open in Finder. And in Finder, you see that there is index.html already. And why is this the case? Because this branch is created based on the main branch. So main branch already had index.html, and now this branch has been created based on the main branch. So now let's try one thing. I will open this open with text editor, and then I will copy this line. And let me write something like, this is written by friend1. So I wrote this line, and when I save it, that change should reflect over here when we come to GitHub Desktop. See, now this is how you will see an extra, instead of seeing an extra file like index.html is not a new file. It was already there, which is why you don't see neither the green tick, green plus, nor the red, what was it? I think it was a red minus, right? Yeah, nor the red minus. But rather you see like a dot, which means the file was already existing, but these two lines of codes are newly added. So there is a space, extra space, and there is this extra line plus. This is written by friend1. Now this change exists only on the friend1's local computer. Now the friend1 will push it like this: change 1, commit, and push. Now what will happen? What will happen is if I go back to GitHub, and if I, instead of main branch, so let's just look at the main branch once. Open the index.html from main branch, and see here, the fourth line is not there. But if you go to, instead of main branch, if you go to friend1 branch, you will see that fourth line is here. This is written by friend1, right? But is our website going to be affected? No. The reason is, when Netlify is hosting the website, it hosts from one branch. It won't host from all the branches. So we have already selected Netlify to host it from the main branch. So unless a change is made in the main branch, that change will not be reflected in the website. Okay? Okay, fine. Okay. Now, what if this friend1 wants to actually make a change to the website? Basically, this guy wants to request whoever is the owner of the main branch to make some changes to be reflected in the actual deployed website. So what can we do? And this is something that you might have heard as something as pull requests. So friend1 can create a pull request from his branch into the main branch. Let's see how that is done. First, let us open the code. What I will do is, let me just first copy the HTML code of this friend1 branch so that I can rename first this as txt. I'm just doing this to make editing a bit more easy. So this txt file index.txt is opened, and I can copy paste the code. Okay, this is the code. Now, what is the change that I want to bring? Maybe I want to write this as, I want to remove all of these lines, and hi, this is a website for Visuara's services and products. And instead of this friend one, we can go back to Visuara. So this person made these changes. Now I will save this change. And obviously GitHub Desktop will detect the change. As you can see here, it shows that, oh, index.txt should not be the file name. It should be .html, index.html. I'm just doing this txt HTML business to make editing easier, nothing else, nothing fancy. So here, obviously, you will see that the first line, the 11th line is edited, where friend3 is removed and Visuara is added. And in the next few lines, in these lines, I have removed all the lines and I have added, hi, this is a website for Visuara services and products. Now what I'll do is I will just commit this into the friend1 branch, right? So now friend1 branch will look like something like this. Let me refresh. So this whole thing will change, and this is what friend1 branch will look like. Will it affect the website? Obviously not. This is not going to affect the website because website, as I said, is hosted from main branch, not from the friend1 branch. But I want, as the person who worked so hard on my branch, as the guy who is managing friend1 branch, I want the change to be reflected in this website, meaning I want the changes to be reflected in the main branch. So I have to request the owner of the main branch to accept the changes. How do I do that? Let's go to GitHub Desktop and click branch and click I have to create a pull request. Let me first do that. Branch. Oh, I have accidentally created a pull request already before. Let me first go and delete that pull request. I don't want to have that pull request here. I accidentally created this while I was playing with this. So how do I remove this? Mark as closed. So this has been closed. So hopefully now nothing will be shown in the GitHub Desktop. Okay. And yeah, so that is gone. So I closed the pull request, which I had accidentally created before meaning before recording the video. And now let's do this. Go to branch, create pull request. So I'm going to create a pull request from the friend1 branch into the main branch. Okay. So, and let's first see what the main branch looks like. Main branch is basically whatever is this. So there are actually some conflicts here. So this conflict is arising because what is already there in main branch is conflicting with what is incoming from the friend1 branch. So I can say that I have the title is changes in the website title and content. Please review the changes and accept. Then I will create a pull request. Now I created the pull request, which means if whoever is the owner of the main branch will go to their repository, they will see something called pull requests here, 1. So click that. You will see this changes in the website title and content. This is the pull request that friend1 created into the main branch. Now let's see what are the issues. Is there any conflict? Yeah, so this branch has conflicts that must be resolved. Okay, let's see what is the conflict. Let's click resolve conflict. So the conflict is happening because we have deleted a few things. Let's see. We have deleted these lines in the main branch, and friend1 has basically added this part. So you see these 2 sections by this red color thing. So friend1 has added something, and from the main something has been removed. So what we can do is to resolve the conflict. What do I really need? I want to accept the incoming change. What is the incoming change? This line is the incoming change. What I'll do is I'll just delete what was already there in main. So delete this. And This red color is really making it hard to read. But anyways, now I can remove this. So now all the conflict has been resolved. I hope. I just need to mark it as resolved. So conflict has been resolved, and the conflict was happening because into the same line of code something else was getting pushed, because I had removed a few lines and changed the description to hi, this is a website for Vishwara services and products. So there is a conflicting situation because what is there in the main branch is conflicting with what is being pushed. So I resolve the conflict and just click merge. Now what will happen? Main branch will change, and that change will reflect in the website. So first let us have a look at the main branch. Index.html. I think I'll have to refresh once. The change has not. Oh, I resolved the conflict, but I did not approve the merge, I think. Okay, so merge pull request. So I resolved the conflict, but I forgot to merge the pull request. So let me merge it. Confirm merge. Okay, so I confirm the pull request from friend one into the main. I am fully aware that there are so many symbols, so many things going on in this page, which can make you feel very uncomfortable. But I wish you did not focus on any of this. You just focused on what I'm just showing you. But I know that that's not how people think. But please, I really apologize if this part is feeling very difficult. It's not my intention to do that, but unfortunately, I have to show all of this because all of this is there in the GitHub. But I just wanted you to focus on the part where pull request is created, a conflict is generated, conflict is resolved, and the pull request is merged from friend one into the main. And now let us see what has happened to the main branch. Index.html. Now see, the main branch has changed. So this is the main branch and this is the index.html. It has changed. Will it reflect in the website? Of course, it is going to reflect in the website. So I refresh and it has reflected in the website. See, so this change, who made this change? Did the guy who is managing the main branch make this change? No. This change was made by friend one who was working on their own branch called friend one branch. They made some changes in the friend one branch and created a pull request into the main branch. And the person who was managing the main branch accepted that change, and that change reflected in the website. This is exactly how people work using GitHub. And now imagine a team of 10 web developers are working on this website. If you don't use GitHub, it's like a nightmare. How do you work on so many pages? I'll be working on homepage. Someone else will be working on sign up or login page. Someone else might be working on some other, dashboard. So there will be many different features in the website that are being developed at the same time. So it will become a nightmare, and this is why you need to have GitHub. And you don't have to know coding if you are using GitHub. Just use GitHub Desktop. There is no shame in that. It's the easiest way to use GitHub. And I picked the web development example so that I can show you something real time. But the same principle applies irrespective of whether you are developing a website or something else. So I will be sharing two things in the description. One is the link to this website. You can play with it, and also another one is the GitHub repository itself, the repo that I have created. It's a public repository, so I will create the link. So I welcome you to. I will protect the main branch so that you can't directly make the changes reflect in the website. But I welcome you to create your own branches in the repo and make some changes. And your own you can create pull requests into the main branch. I will be reviewing the pull request and I'll be making those changes. So thank you so much for listening. I hope I wishfully hope that I brought some clarity into how to use GitHub. I brought some peace of mind into you if you were struggling with GitHub in the past. And I really hope you find GitHub a little bit more friendly from here onwards rather than as a pain. So thank you so much. We'll be meeting again in the next video. Until then, take care and bye.